today is May 4th. Actually, Logan was supposed to be in for surgery today, but it didn't work that way. We had went in for chemotherapy on the 21st of April. And it's the nasty chemo. It's not the methotrexate, it's the A and P version of this chemotherapy. And he always has a hard time with that chemotherapy. Usually a week and a half after he starts feeling better, where he can eat, drink, you know, stomach's not that upset. But this time around it didn't work that way. So we're on like almost 2 weeks, and he actually went back in the hospital on Tuesday the 2nd because of chemotherapy. Sometimes can give you mouth sores, so he had the mouth sores, and then, you know, my wife and myself are looking in the back of his throat, and he had some white stuff, so we're like freaking out. We're like, oh my god, does he have an infection? So I told my wife, I'm like, we're just going to take him down to clinic and just make sure. So, and he wasn't feeling the hottest anyways. He was just kind of bumming around, sleeping a lot. So we took him down to clinic on Tuesday, I think Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. And when I left the house, he wasn't running a fever. But by the time we got down there at 1, by the time 2 o'clock, 2:30 rolled around, they took his temperature. He was running a fever of like 101 point something. It was above 101.4. So as soon as you got a fever and you're a cancer patient, you're admitted instantly. So he is back in the hospital. He's been in there since Tuesday. It is Thursday. He had to get a blood transfusion, had to get a platelet transfusion. His counts were just like down to nothing. His blood counts were down to nothing. So, like I said, so he got a transfusion, a blood transfusion yesterday, Wednesday, and he got the platelet transfusion on Tuesday. Got his blood work back today. Today is Thursday, and it's creeping up slowly, but I don't know. He still might be in the hospital for another day, or at least all day today, and get out tomorrow. So this time it's been a rough go. Also, we had to wait for our second opinion. So they had a meeting last night, U of M tumor board. They had a meeting last night, and then the doctor had called us this morning with good news. But there's some other options that we have to kind of think about, because technically with this cancer you're supposed to run 10-12 weeks up front, shrink the tumor, so on, then they remove the tumor, and then you got chemo after that. Well, we're already into the 12th week-ish, kind of, maybe the 13th week. I can't keep track. So oncologist she's freaking out. She's like, well, we need to get the tumor out of there, and so on. But now the surgeon's like, hey, maybe we better do a little more chemotherapy, shrink the tumor more, so there's a better outcome with, let's say, mobility with the leg. Less muscle he has to cut out. So we have to make the decision. I already know what the oncologist is going to say. She's going to say, hey, you better go in for surgery. Technically it's set up for the 11th at U of M, because that's where we're going. We're going to U of M for the surgery instead of Beaumont. So that was kind of a decision that was made, I don't know, I can't keep track, but for sure it was made over the weekend that Beaumont's a no-go with the surgery, and we're going to go with U of M, and I'm glad we made that choice because it's a very different experience, let's put it that way, with this doctor down at U of M. A lot. I think it's going to be a better outcome. I really do. So I'm at work, my wife's at the hospital, and Logan's actually feeling better now than he was, let's say, 2 days ago, because his counts were so low. But it's just been very tiring. I come to work, you know, I still gotta work, I still gotta make a living to pay the bills, and you know, I get to work at 8, do what I gotta do. Like yesterday, I got to work at 8, got off at 4:30, down to the hospital, and then I think I got home at like 11:30-ish last night, not sure. So the last 2 days have been like that, and today's not going to be any different. It's just very draining, physically, mentally, financially. It's just draining. But you know, when we had a conference call, my wife, myself, and the surgeon this morning, and he did not say anything about amputation, which was very surprising. This morning he actually said good news. That's the first time I've heard good news in a while. Well, as good as it can be, let's put it that way, because none of this is good news, you know, with limb salvage. So that's the way that surgeon's leaning, and he feels very confident that he can get his margins where he's got to be at. So that was quite a, not to say relief, but good to hear this morning. It's just because honestly, we didn't know which way we were going to go. You know, we had no idea. You know, with the one surgeon at Beaumont, it just, you know, there was just like, it was like a 50-50. This other way down at U of M, he's leaning more towards, hey, can we salvage his leg and have a better outcome, and so on. And he's giving better recommendations than the surgeon at Beaumont. So that's kind of where we're at with it right now. It's just an update. He's just back in the hospital for a few days, just to kind of get back on his feet again, because that chemo was tough, wicked crap, really bad. I don't know, I did get sleep last night, believe it or not, but I'm still tired, absolutely whipped. And I think that's it for this one. So you guys know what you need to do. Hit up the GoFundMe, the Zelle, the Venmo. Check it out on YouTube. Watch some videos. That helps the cause too, because I do get a little revenue off the videos, not much. And that's going to be it for this one. And I will see you on the next update.